characters, but you only have 2 minutes to work together. What are we doing?
We should match characters with
the names, right? How much time do you have?
Just 2 minutes.
The 2 minutes. Okay, ready? Here you go. Here's some cards here, and go ahead and begin.
Letter face. Maybe this one. Cheapers creepers. I don't know. Cheapers creepers. Maybe that one. Jason. Jason.
1 more minute.
Oh.
30 seconds. 10 seconds.
Freddy Krueger, no, Freddy Krueger with long names. Freddy Krueger.
5 seconds.
Where is Freddy Krueger? Where is the Freddy Krueger here? Ah, it's here. Okay.
And time. So why did you think this was Leatherface?
Leatherface? The face is Leatherface.
Ah, well, no. This Leatherface over here, right there. That would be Leatherface. This would be Jason Voorhees, right? And why did you think this was Pinhead?
Because he has pins on his face.
That's right, and that's correct. Hi, I'm Benjamin Valencia. I'm an English teaching trainer for the TESOL course here in Seoul, South Korea. I really enjoy teaching English, and it's really so hard. I find it harder to be on film because I have taught so many students, nearly 1,000 students, all who have graduated the TESOL course, but I can never get used to being in front of a camera. Okay, so why am I here? Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw in the beginning of the video was a demonstration on a topic. It was American horror. And to everyone's surprise, we saw that the students had some trouble to know who is who in American horror characters. For us Americans, we can name all 12 characters, right? I know I can because I'm a movie buff. I love horror movies. Now, for our students, our adult students, because this is an adult topic, they really had a hard time to know who's who. So what you see behind me, guys, these are my mentors. Ever since I graduated the TESOL course, I have picked up every book that I can on how to teach English. So the lesson, the methodology, why am I here today? I'm here because I wish that I had someone like me 8 years ago when I first did my CELTA course in Bangkok, Thailand. I almost failed the CELTA course. So I am here today to tell you, to show you what a micro-teaching is. This micro-teaching that we see here is a reading micro-teaching. The reading micro-teaching. That's why after the demonstration, you saw a reading article. That reading article is on the top 12 characters from least scary to most scary, right? So that's why we have the article there. Now, let me walk you through on what a micro-teaching is. Now, a micro-teaching is a series of activities that are all grouped together to teach a lesson on one topic for up to 60 minutes. Let's start with a lead-in. The lead-in is simply a way to transition students from a non-English environment, like for example Korean, into an English-speaking environment. Do you think that's easy? It's not. The students cannot just jump into a lesson. They need some time to process, asking questions. For example, what's your favorite color? You know, what festival do you like to go? What is a favorite book? With follow-up questions. After your lead-in, you have what we call a pre-activity. The pre-activity is what you do before the reading article. What do you do before the reading article? Well, the basic kind of reading micro-teaching has what we call a vocabulary worksheet. And all we're doing is the students are working together to match words with the meanings or definitions. Now, keep in mind, this is a timed event. So about 8 minutes, the students would have to match the lesson. Now, after your pre-activity, you have the main activity. Now, the main activity, we always start it with the reading script. This is a reading micro-teaching, the reading script you saw. Now, pretend that you only have 3 minutes to read that article. Why 3 minutes? Because it's a timed event for you to develop your skimming and scanning skills in reading. Once the 3 minutes are up, time's up, then we are ready for an activity that we do with the article. The article, the theme of the reading micro-teaching is bringing the reading to life. How do we bring the reading to life? That's going to be with what we call reading comprehension questions. Questions like these. Okay, so what we see here on the board is we see an example of reading comprehension questions. Now, depending on the level of the students, from elementary level, we would need to give them the questions. However, if the student's level is intermediate or above, the students should be making their own questions already. This is to develop accuracy as well as fluency. Now, with these questions are only a demonstration because even for the intermediate students, everyone needs a demonstration, right? So the demonstration goes like this, like number 1, reading comprehension questions. How many kinds of comprehension questions are there? There are 3 comprehension level questions: the literal, interpretive, and applied. These are examples of how we make those kinds of questions. Who, what, when, where, how could be a good way to begin your literal questions. Questions that the answers can be found in the text because the students are scanning for the information. Interpretive questions. Now, these questions begin with why, usually. They are designed to make the student critically think. The answers cannot be found in the text. Why do you think? It's a human face. See, there is never going to be a right or wrong answer. That's why opinions are generated, and this is where we get discussions to come in. Now, the last type of comprehension question is what we call the applied. Now, the applied questions are one of my favorites because this is more project-centered and it will require process. When we go back to our micro-teaching stages, you will find that the post-activity, this is where the post-activities come from. They come from your ability to bring the article, bring the reading lesson alive. How? If you could create your own Halloween character, who would it be, right? So, as we saw from our lesson before, we saw how we have our characters. Now, the idea is now design your own character, right? So, designing your own Halloween character would be a perfect way to meet the post-activity. Okay, now what is this stage? SO activity? Right, delivery. And again, for the SOS activity. Now, what is an SOS activity? Okay, we need to factor in that the lead-in will be between about 3 minutes, no more than 3 to 4 minutes. The pre-activity should be about 8 minutes. The main activity, now this is the central part. How do you even start a reading micro-teaching? You have to start from the article. What kind of article, what kind of topic are you looking for? That's where you begin. How to do the reading micro-teaching. Once you do that, then you can create your vocabulary worksheet matching card set to meet the pre-activity. So your main activity could be anywhere between maybe 12 to 15 minutes, maybe even longer, depending on how long your micro-teaching is. Is it a 40-minute lesson, 50-minute lesson, or even a 1-hour lesson? Okay, when you do your CELTA, course, your Certificate of English Language Teach Adults, you will have to do 4 micro-teachings once a week. Okay, so again, when you go to your post-activity, now the post-activity is going to be part of the apply question, bringing something to life. Your post-activity should take anywhere between 5 to 8 minutes. And the SOS activity is designed to maximize the student's full time. Guys, I'm telling you, if you go do your CELTA course, you will be observed and evaluated to the last minute. Hardest thing you'll ever do. That'll be a separate video of me talking about the CELTA course. Now this SOS activity will be designed for you to create another activity related to the same topic. However, just run like 1 or 2 minutes, a very fast activity. Okay, let's run through my teaching materials. Okay, well, as I mentioned before, I wish there had been someone like me who had offered materials to help me pass my CELTA course. What would I need to pass the CELTA course? Definitely how in the world to make a lesson plan. I have a 15-page lesson plan right here, a detailed plan that even tells the commentary and your teaching technique, as well as how to give instructions, your ICQs, how to elicit, and your CCQ. Also on how to run all the activities in all the stages of a micro-teaching that we just discussed. So in my teaching package, you get the lesson plan, the reading script, the matching unlucky 21 vocabulary matching worksheet. You also get the 21 laminated cards of the vocabulary words, as well as their phonemic matching. Now the trend in South Korea now is about improving the pronunciation. Improving the pronunciation is now the new trend in South Korea. So what also that you get smaller cards of the characters to play memory match. This is what we call a triple matching event. And then you'll get some sample worksheet lessons as well, some extras that I throw in for the topic of Halloween. All right, so let's review what's in my teaching package. Can you imagine how long did it take me to make all these materials? I'm a family man, so it took me 1 week to make my materials for this lesson, a lesson that will be taught to adults on this special occasion. What you get in this American Horror teaching package, you get the lesson plan, a reading script, the 21 vocabulary matching worksheet, the laminated phonemic matching cards, 21, as well as the 21 laminated phonemic cards as well for matching. You will also get 36 total cards, the laminated smaller character versions, as well as the strip names, as we just saw from the materials, as well as extra worksheets. And you will also get an extra color copy of all of the material as well, just in case you lose one of your laminated sets. Okay, so for the price, where I'm asking for is everything $90, which is 90,000 won in Korean won. This includes shipping, so I will ship this anywhere in South Korea. So again, think about this material, think about this lesson. How much time will it save you? The greatest resource we have is time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when you ask me, why should I buy this material from you? Well, let me tell you something. All the people that I showed you, these are all my mentors. who I've read all of their literature, their science, their methodology. All of them ask the same question. They ask, what should we be teaching to our English students? Well, the answer to that is culture. As you saw before, the students in the beginning of the video didn't know who's who. That's an example of culture. And what better way to celebrate culture than introducing Halloween first? Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope to see you soon. I hope to see myself shipping your product to you because I'm ready if you're ready. Have a great day. Have a great Halloween. We'll see you. Bye. Characters, but you only have 2 minutes to work together. What are we doing?
We should match characters with
the names, right? How much time do you have?
just 2 minutes.
The 2 minutes. Okay, ready? Here you go. Here's some cards here. And go ahead and begin.
Letter face. Maybe this one. Cheapers creepers. I don't know. Cheapers creepers. Maybe that one. Jason.
One more minute.
Oh,
30 seconds.
Oh no. Oh, 6. So.
10 seconds.
Freddy Krueger, no, Freddy Krueger with long nails. Freddy Krueger.
5 seconds.
Where is Freddy Krueger? Where's the Freddy Krueger here? Ah, it's here, okay.
And time. So why did you think this was Leatherface?
Leatherface? He has the face, the leather.
Ah, well, no. This Leatherface over here, right there. That would be Leatherface. This would be Jason Voorhees, right? And why did you think this was Pinhead?
Because he has pins on his face and that.
That's right, and that's correct.